So this is a continuation of that bond calculation. And what I want you to do now, hopefully you realize that you got to do step by step. You do and it's always going to be the same on the first couple of steps usually, because more than likely it's going to be more than a $500,000 bond. So your first 100 is going to be 2,500. Occasionally people write this in the book. 2,500 for our first 100. It's always going to be 6,000 for our next 400,000. And then usually this is the part where you have to say, okay, what is left over? I've accounted for $500,000 of the bond. How much more do I have to calculate at $10 per thousand, which is our third step? Okay, so it's a very there's a lot of pitfalls here where you can kind of get confused on exactly how to do this calculation. But just always remember, first step, next step, next step, and then when you run out of needing to go to extra steps, you just stop. And you don't have to do everything in that step. Like in the next 2 million, you don't have to do the whole 2 million like we did the 800,000. You only had to do 300,000 of it at $10. Didn't have to do the whole 2 million. Probably won't have to do the whole 2 million. Okay, somewhere in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to see if you can figure out the cost of a $2 million bond. Give that a shot. A $2 million Class B contract general construction bond using this table. If you can do that, you're ahead of the game. Okay, so hit that pause button and then come back and see. So what they want you to do on the exam, because they want you to take it as many times as possible because they want to make money. Okay. The more times you take it, the more times Pearson VUE, the more money they make. Okay. So what they want you to do on a $2 million bond is to go in there and say, okay, well, 2 million is $10 per thousand. So it's 2,000 times 10, which would be $20,000. And that would be one of your choices. But you're not going to do that because you know that's not the way to do it. You have to do it step by step. Once again, the first 100,000 is $25. So that's the 2,500. It's always the same. It's always 2,500. It's always 100 times 25, 2,500 for that first 100,000. Excuse me. Then you go to the next 400,000. All right. And that's going to always be the same if it's $500,000 or more. Okay. Of a bond. So it's going to be 400 times 15, which is 6,000. So you're always going to have your 2,500 and your 6,000, more than likely. The only reason you wouldn't is if your bond was less than 500,000. So anyway, so think about this. You have accounted for the first 100,000, you've accounted for the next 400,000, you've accounted for a total of $500,000 of that $2 million bond. What's left for the next step? It would be $1,500,000. 2 million minus your 500,000. So it'd be $1,500,000. Okay. So that's what we're going to figure out on that third step. We take off our 3 zeros. So that makes it 1,500. Remember, it's per thousand. So it'd be 1,500 times 10, which would be 15,000. So there you have the 3 numbers that you add together. You add your 15,000 to your 6,000 to your 2,500, and you get 23,500. A $2 million bond is going to cost you 23,500, not 2 million, not 20,000. So keep that in mind. It's unnatural. It's tricky. It may not even be the way they do it in the real world. Okay. A lot of companies don't do it like this. Okay. But you're going to have to do that one day of your life. You're going to have to do it just like that. All right. Maybe we'll do another one.